Hi, this is Kathie from Craft with Kathie. Thanks for joining me today. I want you to drop me a line below. Let me know where you're watching from. Hope all is well where you're at and that you're handling the coronavirus issue well. I know it's getting a little bit hard. We've been under shelter in place since, oh, I think it's only the 20th, but it's getting old fast. And what I found is that crafting happens to be a great way to escape it. And I'm just getting set up here. I know I'm supposed to be live, but I don't see that I'm here yet, that it's picking up. You do a quick check again. If anybody's watching, please comment. Let me know that you're there. Okay, today's project is going to be using chalk watercolored backgrounds with phrases. And I actually created these two backgrounds yesterday using watered down chalk and some plastic, like a plastic, actually a plastic trash can liner. And I wanted something, I was looking for something in some nice little soft pastels. And I used Marvelous, Seafoam Green, Ocean Mist Blue. And it's a very easy, quick technique, and I think it gives you, obviously, unique backgrounds to work on. These are on canvas panels. And today, I'm just going to chalk some phrases on them. I have thanks and giving, and I can do all things. And I was kind of looking through my chalk colors, and I think I'm going to do, I can do all things in cranberry, or currant jam. I don't know why I always want to call it cranberry, maybe because that's what the color reminds me of. And thanks and giving in Midnight Sky. And I've previously stirred up these chalk pastes and made sure they're the proper consistency, somewhere between a yogurt and a sour cream. Now these are brand new transfers that I'm taking out of the package. And I always write the name of the transfer on the back. And this lets me know that this is the back of the backing sheet. The transfer actually peels off of it. Our transfers are made out of vinyl and silkscreen, with teal being the vinyl and the white, the silkscreen showing through. And they're adhesive backed and good for 8 to 12 uses or more per transfer, as long as you properly care for them. And care is actually very, very easy. Cleanup is water and then a Clorox wipe. I find crafting gives me a break from the day, time to relax, unwind, ease my mind, kind of disappear from all the normal stresses of the day. And especially in these times, I think we could really use that. I will be posting a video soon on how to do the watercolor, the chalk watercolor technique. And I am using chalk paste, P-A-S-T-E, not paint. There's a big difference. But this is a very easy and quick technique. And basically, once I had everything set up, this was the first pressing, this was the second. So I was able to get two surfaces out of just one basic process of setting it up. So I think I'm going to do this on this one and this on here now. This is going to be in the Midnight Sky, and the Thanksgiving I'm going to do in the Current Jam. Because these are canvases that I just bought at the craft store, just plain canvases that before I did the watercolor, there was no prep behind them at all. That was it. I do have to do something special, and that's just keeping something behind the canvas so that when I press down with my squeegee, I don't stretch the canvas itself. And sometimes I'll use a cloth, like a dishcloth or whatever, but today I looked and I said, ooh, look, I have this box, and it fits perfectly. So I'm going to use that for when I actually chalk the phrase on it. So to get started, I need to deliberately apply lint or fuzz to the back of this transfer, and I'm going to peel it off. Note that this is, it's adhesive back, and this is almost like a wax paper or a kind of parchment paper with one side shiny. You always put the adhesive side of the transfer to the shiny side so that you could peel it off, it doesn't stick. And the dull side is what I just labeled the name of the transfer. So I peel it off its backer, and then I place it on my fuzzing cloth. If you don't have a fuzzing cloth, you could use a towel. That's actually what we used to use. And I deliberately press down and lift up, applying some lint or fuzz to the back. And the purpose behind this is so that it doesn't stick quite as snugly to your surface. Now with the canvas, I do want it to fit very snugly, but if I was doing this on glass or metal, like galvanized steel or something, or a mirror, I would want to fuzz it quite a lot so that I could actually lift it. Otherwise it could be a little bit difficult to lift it off of the surface. And I'm going to just center this. Not quite right. Okay, I think that looks good. And I want to smooth it out, making sure I have no air bubbles. Air bubbles in the teal part would be fine. They wouldn't have any impact, but I want to make sure there's no air bubbles under the silk screen, because then my chalk paste will not go through it evenly. Okay, this looks pretty good. I have it smoothed down fairly well. And I'm going to take a little stir stick, and actually I had my stir sticks from earlier. And I also have chalky fingers. Sorry. I'm going to apply some of the chalk paste to my surface. I usually like putting it on the teal portion and then pulling it over the silk screen. And use my squeegee to smooth it over my transfer. Oops, looks like I have a little clump of paste there. As you can see, a little bit of chalk paste goes a long way. I want to make sure that I have good coverage and I'm pushing down evenly. I don't know what, I have a little bump underneath it. It's probably my canvas surface. And I'm going back and making sure I have no lines and removing any excess. Any excess can be put back in the jar. So I think that looks pretty good. And I'm going to lift up. Quick and easy. Put my transfer in a water bath so that I can rinse off the chalk paste. Oh, I think the currant jam goes nice with this watercolored background. Now I just have to find an appropriate frame to frame it. Oops. Put this aside. Okay. I'm going to clean my squeegee for use on the next project. And basically, it's the same process. So you can see how quickly this goes. We also clean the chalk paste off my fingers. Cleanup of our chalk paste is pretty easy. Just basically water. We'll clean it off of most surfaces, water and a paper towel. If you are chalking on our chalkboards or any kind of blackboard or chalkboard, our paste always is liquid, but it goes on liquid and it dries to a hard, it dries hard. So if you chalk on blackboard, or can't talk this evening, what can I say? If you chalk on blackboard, you can reuse the board. It's not permanent, just spritz it with water, wipe off with a paper towel, and reuse the board for something else. If you are applying it to canvas like I just did, it's pretty much permanent. If I make a mistake, sometimes I could wash it off really quick. But otherwise, once it dries, it's unlikely that you'll be able to wash it from the canvas. Glass and mirror, obviously very washable. Metal, the same thing. Wood, no, it most likely will stain pigment, but if you do apply it to wood and you get tired of it and want to use your wood surface for something else, then all you have to do is really just paint over it and you have a new surface and can use it for that. So it's great for home decor because if you do something and then you tire of it, it's very easy to reuse your surfaces. Okay, I'm going to move this to the side. And fuzz, I can do all things. I want to take care that I don't let the transfer stick to itself. If that happens, the best thing to do is run it under cool water and gently nudge it apart. You never want to pull or tug on your transfers because they are like fabric. And especially if you pull them on the diagonal, you can stretch them and distort them. So always lift from the top, bottom, left or right. My biggest issue is getting chalk paste on my fingers. I'm a little clumsy, so that happens occasionally. So just like before, I'm going to line this on my canvas. Oops, it's sticking really strongly to my fingers there. Get this lined up. I think that's good. Smooth it out. Feel for any air bubbles or anything. Sorry Sorry, lifting it in the light to make sure things are good. Okay. So, feel free to comment any questions that you might have. If you've enjoyed this video or enjoying it, feel free to share it. If you are not a member of my VIP group and would like to be privy to additional projects and tips and tricks and some bundle specials and things like that, comment VIP below and I will send you the link to my VIP group. If you enjoy crafting and would like a little bundle of creativity showing up on your doorstep once a month, we have a program called Club Couture, which sends you an exclusive to club members and designers transfers, no other way you can purchase it, and individual paste packets to complete the project, all for only $19.99 a month. And that includes shipping. It looks like I need a little bit more chalk here. This might be a little thick. I might have needed to add some distilled water to thin it down. I want to be careful I don't go off the edge of my transfer. So I want to work fairly quickly and cover the silk screen. Yes, I think I needed a little bit more. I think while I was waiting, my chalk paste thickened up a little bit, so let me flop a little bit more down on here and get this covered quickly. You add distilled water to your chalk paste to thin it if it has gotten too thick. And you use distilled water because regular tap water could have impurities in it. If you add a little bit too much distilled water, just leave the cover off and it will thicken up. Get that box underneath there. Now, I could have used some placement tape here on the edges to make sure that I didn't go off onto the canvas, but I'm going to try and be careful and make sure I don't get paste on my fingers as I'm touching the canvas or as I'm lifting it. Smoothing back over it. Removing any lines. Any excess paste goes back into the jar. I really like how having this box underneath the canvas helps me. I think that works out better than a cloth. Okay, let me take another look at this. Make sure I've got everything covered. Okay. Wow, pretty dramatic. I think I picked the right color chalk paste to go with this one. Set that in the water bath. Clean my fingers a bit. Quick and easy, simple projects. What do you think? Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. As I said, any questions, comments, suggestions are always welcome. Just please comment below. Stay safe during these chaotic times. Have a wonderful life.